Okay.
Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
What up, YouTube? Gunner South here. I thought, first off, this is my first video in about a month or so. I just wanted to say that we're going to get back into making videos on a pretty regular basis. Sorry about that absence. I was pretty busy. Well, what was I busy with? I was busy preparing for the Alabama state match, the Montgomery IDPA state match that I was preparing for. I was going to shoot the Glock 41. I did, and I wanted to take just a second or two, make a short video to talk about how I felt that match went. Okay, you've seen this setup before. I shot my Glock 41 Gen 4 CDP Sharpshooter, and you know, I've gone over the reasons why I went ahead and stuck with the Glock as opposed to a 1911, and it was mainly about this trigger pull. I didn't feel like I had enough time to adjust properly to another platform, and I wanted to bounce around a bit. So let's talk about the good and the bad for that match. The good, Glock function flawlessly. I didn't have a single malfunction. These mags got dropped in the mud all day. It was Friday. It rained on them the whole time. The RO's SOs shot basically in the rain all Friday. We got to come out Saturday and it was overcast, but it never rained on us. But there was plenty of mud, and these mags, I mean, Glock reliability, right? No problem. You actually see a little bit of mud still on there. I was running a little shorter overall length than I normally did, and with that combined with the mud, I was afraid that I would have some malfunctions. Didn't have a single one. Glock held up to its name like you would expect and ran perfectly. I, on the other hand, did not run perfectly. I had a pretty marginal match, I felt, and you know, the biggest thing that happened to me, I felt, was movers. We don't get to practice those on a weekly basis well enough or often enough, I don't feel. So when we got to movers, there were a lot of vanishing movers, and there was a lot of no shoot following a shoot target that would come across, and you couldn't be behind it because this was a no shoot, and you couldn't be in front of it because that was a miss. So when they would come across and they would vanish. I know of at least 3 targets where I was probably, you know, one of them was like a 3-shot target. I think I was 13 down on that. Another one was just, you know, like an 11 on some other ones. I didn't shoot the movers well. And I felt like normally on most weekly matches I handle movers much better than I represented that day. The other thing, I got 2 no-shoots, which one of them completely understandable. It was a no-shoot in front of a shoot target, and what would happen is the no-shoot would spin, and you had half a second to shoot that one, and then it would cover it back up. But what was actually like there is it was like this, and I wasn't expecting this shoot. I was expecting them to be like this, where it would just turn, it would be the exact same. But the shoot target was actually lower, so I was holding my point of aim up here, and then as soon as it turned, I had to adjust down, and by the time I had adjusted down, the target had flipped back. So I missed that target. So that was one of the no-shoots. The other one, and this is the other part where I can improve, is offhand shooting. We had a whole stage to shoot offhand. Started offhand, shot a limited number of shots offhand, and I plugged a no-shoot right off the bat, first string. And then secondly, there was so you shot 2 targets up front, moved, and then it had to take like a 10-yard headshot or 7-yard headshot or so, and I mic'd both headshots. So that cost me again another 10 points down. and really hurt. And then obviously there was one more on stage 5 where I just missed a target completely. I don't know how you prepare for that. I mean, I guess you work on your stage run through quite a bit more, but you know, it was the second to last stage that we did that day. I was exhausted and just missed it. I mean, you can watch the video. I sat there and I was like, well, should I reload? I was dry and I was like, should I reload? Should I just let it go? And you know, in my mind, the time is ticking. I'm thinking the longer I wait, the less helpful it is for me to really engage those targets. Well, I wasn't paying attention because, you know, an IDPA, a 10 and a fail is dang death sentence, because you get 10 and a fail, you get a procedural, and so you're talking about, you know, just what, 13 seconds in penalties and then an additional 5 seconds for the target itself. So that's probably the most critical mistake I made. Holster ran well. Mag holster, I'm really liking the double. I'm thinking I'm going to move to this for most all my other things. Glock ran well. What else ran well? You know, loaded up. I did not make many mental mistakes. When I had a good stage, I had a great stage. When I had a crappy stage, I had just a crappy stage. A lot of the stages where I shot well, I was like 1 or 2 down in like a 18 round array of stage. Also, I got to practice a ton of reloads. Guys, there were so many of those stages that were 18 round stages. 18 round stages all day, and I got to practice my reload a ton. I didn't miss the opportunity to shoot at a lot of movers, so I was moving fast, I was getting in position fast, but I would just not get to them in time, or I would mic them. So that all went well, and at the end of the day, I'm really hard on myself, but I did end up taking second place home for our division, which is Sharpshooter CDP, clearly, but I did not get a bump to go along with it. Because there were 12 of us. So I certainly didn't have my best day. I felt like, and I missed first place by 4 seconds, which is extremely frustrating. But you know, I didn't have my best day, but I had a full day of shooting. It was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with some great folks. So you know, that's kind of how I feel about that match. It's very motivating for me to get ready and just perform to my level in the next match. So I kind of took away a lot of things that I want to work on for the next match, and learned a lot. You know, it's my second major match I've ever shot. It's my second ever state match, and I came in second. So I can't hate that, but you know, you're always going to want to perform at what you feel is your best, and so I'm pretty hard on myself right now. But looking forward to the next one, and I'll give you all a synopsis on that when I shoot that. So Glock 41, Alabama, Montgomery IDPA state match, second place Sharpshooter. The video is linked otherwhere, and you can watch that whole thing now that you've heard sort of the narrative to go along with it. So go ahead and like. We're going to have a lot more videos coming up. I'm going to get back into this as we're a little bit less crazy. So thanks for sticking with me, YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and I'll keep making them if you keep watching it. Thanks a lot.